Good morning, everybody. This is the day that the Lord hath made. We shall rejoice and we shall sing. I'm Julia Royston, and welcome to Sunday Mornings with Julia Royston. And so today is a very special day. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers, father figures, people who stood in place of fathers, people who really have stood in the gap and really assisted, helped, encouraged, pushed, um, and were there to provide that emotional support for girls and boys. I'm a I'm a daddy's girl all day long, so the girls need it as much as anything else, and I think um, it has been vastly instrumental in my life. And so 1 Corinthians 4:15 says, "For though ye have 10,000 instructors in Christ, ye have not many fathers." And I've spoken on this before, but it is absolutely the truth. Um, they just there's a lot of people talking. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of chatter. There's a lot of things being said, but there are few, very few fathers. So, first off, they're not perfect, but they're consistent. Fathers are not perfect. Sometimes we think they have a cape and they're Superman on their chest, but they're not perfect, but they are consistent. They are going to be there. They are going to show up, barring any circumstances beyond their control, barring the world shutting down. We've seen that too. They're going to be consistent in whatever they provide, whether that's a phone call, whether that's a text, whether that's an email, whether they show up in person, they're going to be consistent. I saw that in my father. I know my husband has seen that in his father. My dad was consistently in our lives, no matter what was going on, until he was not, until the Lord took him. So the things that I looked for, three things that I was looking for with a husband, which I think with Brian, God chose him and God brought him. And so I really wasn't looking, but when he got there, I was like, oh, wait a minute, hold on. I got to be on my A game and realize what I'm looking for and what he brings to the table. So one of the first things that I was looking for was, can he fight? And my father, he was only 4'11", but don't play with him. Don't put him in no struggle. Don't put him in no contention. Don't put him in. He can come out swinging. He can come out fighting like a 7-footer. Don't play with him. And he had, as they say, he had grit in his crawl. He had fight. He could pull out all his resources. Call. He was dangerous with a phone. He was dangerous, in person because he could present himself well. His argument was set. He had backup. He had friends. Don't play with him. He had fight. So number one in fathers for me is he had fight. One of the mass media is Good Times. And we know the father in that. Even the lead, Esther Roll, said she didn't want to do the show at all unless he had a father figure. And he didn't. He was there. And good, bad, or ugly, Mr. James in that show could fight. Now, he could be broke down and love his children and love his wife, but he could fight. And so I think for me, I can't speak for nobody else, the men in my life, they can fight. And I'm not talking about with your fists. I'm not talking about, getting out in the middle of the streets, embarrassing nobody and punching somebody in the mouth. They know how to fight with prayer. They know how to fight with consistency. They know how to fight with, I'm going to be there and no, it didn't work out, but we're going to figure out another way. So number one for me, for a father, is fight. Number two, and this is a lot of contention in the podcast today. The women say, oh, he's got to provide. And the men say, that's all she wants is for me to provide. And that word provide for me is different than other people. Yeah, I want him to work. Yeah, I want him to put our money together. But what I need for provision and what I saw from provision, was financial stability and financial. But my mother worked as hard as my daddy did. We all had jobs. We all worked in the business. So that sitting back and eating bonbons on the couch and waiting for daddy to bring us money, I never experienced that. I don't know what that looks like. And so therefore, provide for me means provide stability, emotional stability. That when I flip the light on, here, I'm going to turn this light off. When I flip the light on, it come on. When I go to turn the car on, it starts, And when I look at the gas tank, there's gas in it. Not that he put the gas in there. Not that he, I like when people pump the gas, but they don't have to pump the gas. Is that we have enough, as they say, current flowing through the house, that we have the ability to do that. That's what and then provision for that, the basic needs are met, that you're loved properly, that you're cared for, that if that emergency does happen and you do have a flat tire, you do have somebody who says, hold on, I'm on my way, or I'm sending my dad, or I'm sending the AAA, or those kinds of provisions. Because I've always been taught to work. I've always been taught to contribute. I've always been taught that was my responsibility as well. Now, if something happens and I'm sick or whatever, what if they get sick? That was the biggest thing my dad said. What if something happens and the man loses his job? It's not his fault. The company moves. He always pointed that out. Kitchen table was big. The dinner table was huge in our house. And so some of the things happens, life happens. It's not that he did anything wrong. He was just, situation totally changed. So what's going to happen? And not to mention if you have kids and the whole 9 yards. So, number one, I got to have somebody with some fight in them. And definitely Mr. Rushton got fight. Provide, and then can he lead? Now, people, take leadership as I'm the boss, I'm in charge. And whatever I say goes and whatever, good leaders understand what has been placed in their hands. Good leaders are good stewards, not only of their time, but other people's time. They respect other people's gifts. Great leaders know how to maximize those gifts. Great leaders know how to stand in front, but understand that there's a whole team behind me. They know how to acknowledge. They know how to understand what the assignment is, be able to cast the vision and then lead the vision. My dad used to say, don't start anything unless you're going to be the first investor, the first partaker, the first one. Even God says that. First fruits. Whoever's going to lead has to be the first one. And so a lot of it is not only first, I'm going to tell everybody what to do, but it has to be the first sacrifice. A great servant leader serves first, and then we follow, and then we see the example. So, that lead, I'm the boss, I'm the ruler, I'm the master, really? Do you only God knows everything. And there are some things that you can't see, some things that you may not know, even though you're called to lead. You need other people, and you need to recognize that. And then also in that leadership, you got to be able to say sorry, say apologize. I made a mistake. I respect you more. Not that the mistake was made, not that, something didn't turn out like you thought, but that you acknowledged it. It didn't work. Okay, this is what we're going to do instead. As you could tell, it rained, it stormed, it hailed. Some things are beyond your control. You do everything you can correctly. But a great leader is one who says, okay, it didn't work that time. Let's figure out something else. What do you think? Okay. How much does it cost? How much will it cost to fix it? How long will it take? Those are great leaders, not this, dictatorship, kingship, leadership. There is a vast difference. Happy Father's Day to all fathers, no matter what the situation is. If you need to reconcile with your children, if your children need to reconcile with you, if some sorries need to be said, some I apologize, I didn't know, that's a sign of a great leader. That's a sign of a great father. That's the sign of someone who's willing to fight and provide for stability and safety in their family so that we all can live our best life. Coming up at 10 a.m. on envision-radio.com, celebrating Father's Day with the authors of the latest release. The latest release, Our Fathers, Love, Life, and Legacy, available now at Royston Royal Bookstore. We're going to be celebrating fathers the rest of the year. Today is the big launch. Today is the big target date. We've been moving forward since June 1st, but Our Fathers, Love, Life, and Legacy, purchased at Royston Royal Bookstore.com. And then on Tuesdays, the Book Business Boss Show, Tuesdays at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The replays are the Book Business Boss Podcast. Live Your Best Life with Royston.com are the replays of the Live Your Best Life as well. Julia A.K. Royston is where all of my websites are. The links to everything is right there to be able to get to all of my sites, and then to purchase books inside stores. Visit next chapter, bookstore, gift shop inside Ben's Boys, 2711 Grandview Avenue in Greensboro, North Carolina. The Sankofa Center and Bookstore, Bates Memorial, 620 Lambton Street in Louisville. And When I See Me, book fair, it's coming up July 25th. Dayton, Ohio, whenISeeMe.com for more details. And the amazing corner.com, the online bookstore and mobile book fair. For those of you who are interested in writing a book, and go to talkwithroyston.com and let's have a free consultation. Let's have a conversation, all that good stuff. Follow me. I'm trying something new. Threads. I've been on Threads for a while. That's tied to my Instagram. But Lemon and an 8. It's like TikTok. I'm on TikTok too. So I'm trying something new. So if you're on Threads or Lemonade, or you know your kids are, tell them to follow Julia A. Royston, and I'll hopefully be able to follow you back. I'm going to be looking at profiles first before I jump on in. So last thing, two more things. July 28th is the next Promote That Book Now class that's coming up. I'm planning on having class every month. So if you miss one, come on in. Promote That Book Now for authors who have books, whether I published you or not. You need to get ready for fourth quarter. So July 28th, Promote That Book Now. You got time. Register at RoystonTrainingAcademy.com. And where we going to be? Brian and Julia in the world. July 11th, Shop Black Business in Chicago, right there on right there at the river in the park downtown. For more information, go to shopblackbusiness.com. And then July 17th through the 19th, we on the road. Indiana Black Expo, there's summer celebration at the convention center right downtown in Indianapolis, Indiana. So keep up with us, and I look forward to seeing you somewhere really, really soon. I'm Dr. Julia Royston. My prayer always is that you live your best life, that you honor those and really honor your father and your mother, that your day may be long upon the earth. And so that's what I'm striving to do. Honor God first, and then honor my parents, then honor my family. So super excited about all what's happening in my life, and pray God's blessings upon you and everything that you're doing in your life. This has been Sunday Morning with Toya Royston. Be blessed. Have a great week. Bye-bye.